Tonight, right before you fall asleep, close your eyes and pay attention. If you spent your afternoon playing a video game, scrolling through an app, or repeating the same task for hours at work, you may notice something strange drifting through the dark, shapes sliding downward, patterns locking into place, a phantom world replaying itself behind your eyelids. You are not imagining it. At this very moment, your brain is physically rewriting itself in response to what you repeatedly consume. This is called the Tetris Effect, one of the most fascinating and unsettling phenomena in human psychology. It is the moment a digital habit escapes the screen and begins reshaping your perception of reality itself. In 1984, a Soviet software engineer named Alexey Pajitnov created a simple puzzle game on an aging Electronica 60 computer. He called it Tetris. The concept was deceptively simple. Geometric blocks fall from the top of the screen, and players rotate them to complete solid lines before the stack reaches the top. But Pajitnov unknowingly created something far more powerful than a game. Within weeks, the software spread through the entire research institute. Scientists stopped working. Bureaucrats became addicted. People could not pull themselves away. Even Pajitnov later admitted that after turning off the computer, the blocks continued falling inside his mind. Walking through Moscow, he would stare at brick walls and pavement, mentally rearranging patterns, searching for perfect fits. Without realizing it, he had created a system capable of rewiring the brain's visual processing machinery. For years, people dismissed these stories as gamer folklore. Then, in 2000, Harvard researchers decided to test whether the phenomenon was real. Psychiatrist Robert Stickgold conducted an unusual experiment. Volunteers played Tetris for several hours each day before sleeping. But there was one extraordinary detail. Some participants suffered from severe anterograde amnesia, a condition that prevents the formation of new conscious memories. These individuals could meet someone, forget them minutes later, and have no memory of the interaction at all. Yet every night, when researchers woke them just as they drifted into sleep, the participants described the same visions: glowing geometric blocks, falling, rotating, locking into place. The shocking part? They had absolutely no conscious memory of ever playing the game. Show them the computer, and they insisted they had never seen it before. But their brains remembered. The experiment revealed something profound. The Tetris effect does not live in conscious memory. It operates much deeper, inside the subconscious systems responsible for habit, repetition, and procedural learning. Your brain continues solving patterns, even when your conscious mind has forgotten them entirely. So what is actually happening inside the brain? The answer is surprisingly simple. Your brain is obsessed with efficiency. Whenever you learn a new task, the brain initially burns enormous amounts of energy, rapidly firing neurons while trying to understand the pattern. But the brain hates wasting resources. In 1992, neuroscientist Richard Heyer used PT scans to study Tetris players over several weeks. The results were paradoxical. As players became more skilled, overall brain activity decreased dramatically. Why? Because the brain had optimized itself. It built specialized neural pathways dedicated entirely to solving Tetris patterns quickly and efficiently. In other words, the brain constructed a biological Tetris engine. But that optimization comes with a dangerous side effect. Once the brain becomes trained to recognize a pattern repeatedly, it struggles to switch that pattern off. And eventually, it begins projecting that pattern onto everyday life. This phenomenon is not limited to video games. The Tetris effect quietly shapes how people experience the modern world. A supermarket employee who scans barcodes all day may begin mentally scanning logos on strangers' clothing. An auditor trained to detect flaws in spreadsheets may start unconsciously searching for flaws in relationships, conversations, even themselves. And endless short-form content creates perhaps the most dangerous effect of all. Hours of rapid scrolling train the brain to expect stimulation every few seconds. Over time, reality itself begins to feel slow, fragmented, and emotionally dull. What feels like harmless repetition is actually neurological conditioning. Every habit becomes training. Every repeated experience becomes a blueprint. And your brain continuously rebuilds itself to match whatever patterns dominate your attention. But the story takes an unexpected turn. The Tetris Effect is not only a vulnerability, it can also become a powerful therapeutic tool. Researchers studying post-traumatic stress disorder discovered something remarkable. After a traumatic event, the brain spends several hours consolidating disturbing visual memories. If those memories fully stabilize, they can later return as intrusive flashbacks. But researchers found that when trauma victims played Tetris shortly after the event, something extraordinary happened. The intense spatial demands of the game overloaded the brain's visual processing systems. The brain became so occupied, organizing geometric patterns, that it struggled to fully encode the traumatic imagery. In some cases, the formation of severe flashbacks was significantly reduced. The same psychological mechanism that can trap the mind can also protect it. Geometry, interrupting horror. We like to believe the mind is stable, permanent, fully under our control. But the truth is far more fluid. The brain is constantly reshaping itself around whatever it repeatedly consumes. It does not distinguish between healthy patterns and destructive ones. It only recognizes repetition. Every app, every routine, every obsession, every thought loop, each one is another falling block. So tonight, when the lights go out and the world becomes silent, pay attention to what appears behind your eyes. Because whatever patterns you see replaying in the darkness may be the exact patterns your brain is turning you into.